Hello everyone, this is Martin with Steadfast Warehousing and Orion Intermodal here in Houston. In this video, we had the pleasure of interviewing Ms. Kim Lorimer, Vice President of the Evans Delivery Network of Companies. We spoke about her early years as a truck driver in the United States military to now overseeing a $1 billion trucking operation. This is one conversation you surely don't want to miss.
In 700 feet, turn right.
From a stretch of our town, follow into beautiful places.
At the south side, turn right onto West Corners. Then the destination is on your left.
Everyone is not around. I wish it could happen to me.
Hello everyone, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's Martin with Steadfast and Orion again. This video, this conversation we're having with Miss Kim, she is the Vice President of Evans, and we feel in our side that we have an obligation to help the public, to teach the public, not only just have our business and go about our ways, but we feel that we have an obligation to teach people what we do, show people what we do, and but more importantly, talk to people in the trucking industry that know what they're doing and that they can help others out. And to be quite honest with you, that's what the intentions of these videos are. Without further ado, I do want to introduce Ms. Kim Lorimer. Once again, like I said, she's the Vice President of Evans Delivery. She has very interesting things that you could learn from her, I promise you, and this is what we're going to talk. Ms. Kim,
Thank you.
introduction.
Well, hello everybody. I'm very happy to be here today with
you.
Martin and Christy. And we're here on Evans University weekend, which is a really exciting time. So we run something called Evans University where we help agents grow and learn and develop and do things that they might be taking the next step in their business. So it's a lot of business development, and I'm very excited that we're able to do that this weekend. We had like a little bit of a lull where we did some things due to COVID, but now we're starting to ramp back up and everything's starting to uptick, and looking forward to having some collaboration with agents, networking and getting together and doing what you guys do best.
Thank you. Now, touching on that, Evans University, actually we are here for Evans University where a lot of agents meet up and they talk and they conversate, brainstorm, come up with ideas on do's and don'ts. That's something that I believe that everybody should do, but in general, Evans Delivery does it. And explain to people a little bit why it started and how it started and why it came about.
So how it started was we are all about, I like to call myself an agent advocate. And what we're all about is growing you. You grow, we grow. So what we started to think about here at corporate is how can we help you out? What are the things you need? So we asked, what are the things that are do you need help with? And some of the answers became sales, sometimes it's recruiting, sometimes it's retention, sometimes it's supervisory or management and people skills and how do I get to the next level? I want to grow to this many trucks. And what we started, how it all started was having a vision. Like, where do you want to go? How big do you want to be? Some agents are perfectly content and they like to be a small size. They might only want 10, 12 trucks and they might only want to operate it themselves. They might not want to hire dispatchers. They might not want to hire billing people. Other agents aspire to be the number one person in the company or to be a certain revenue threshold or so many trucks, or they might want to reach a certain profit goal so that they can retire or whatever it is, or to hand it off to in succession planning, hand it off to the next person that's either in the business or a child or some family member. So basically it started out of growing and developing, and agents had growth, and you know, they were calling us a lot to say, hey, what's next? What are the next steps? How do I get a good dispatcher in here? What am I looking for? What are the job descriptions? How do I sell? What should I do for customers to to keep them, to gain them. And so that's how Evans University was born. And we did different modules. At first, we used to have a module just for each particular thing. And as it evolved, we started to get everything together because things change and you have periods of time, as you know, you might have too much freight, you need independent contractors. And then there might be that you have too much freight and you need more freight. So it could be you need contractors, it could be you need freight. So it's kind of like a fine balance. So kind of just getting that balance down and taking the next steps forward.
Yeah, that's like on the Evans University side, one of the things that I remember learning a lot was, especially with Creighton in Dallas, how he operates his side of the business through, I guess you could say, what he uses with Evans. Like, he was telling us about how he uses Evans as a backdoor for rental of equipment. Something in the university when you talk to other people from others, especially from other states, and you get to see how they do things in other states, that helped me and Christy and grow on our business, on our side of the business. Was that an intentional thing, just hopefully that people can learn from other people?
Yeah, it was definitely the backbone of what we were looking for, and what we want you to do is learn from one another. So you don't have to go through some of the growing pains that somebody else already went through. So the idea behind the collaboration is, hey, let's talk about how you recruit drivers, because how he's doing something in Dallas, you might not be doing it the same way in Houston. Or you might have an agent that's in New Jersey and they're doing something completely different. Or they might have something that they're doing for their drivers that they're able to retain better. And they have like little hints, and some agents have had, little experience where they've only been in the industry for a few years, where you have others that have been in for 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, we do that exercise in the beginning, and I always do it, and we're going to do it tomorrow, is we go around the room and we talk about how many years of experience we have. And, not too long ago, you have Bo Bates sitting here in his chair and told you he's been in the industry for 40 years. I myself was in, when I was 17 years old, I was in the Army. I was an 88 Mike truck driver. Mm-hmm. So, since I was a teenager, I have experience because I went into insurance before the trucking. So there's a lot of different dynamics with different people, and you don't know who you have in the room and how much experience, and just drawing from that and learning from one another. And that also starts that connection too. So now you know to call me if you need something. And in the corporate office, you have how many people behind you? We have about 120 people now in this office in Schuylkill-Haven, and there's a lot of knowledge. You have, Sharon down in the per diem team. She's been doing per diem for 15 years. You have, collectors. You have, the training team. You have the sales team. You have the safety team. There's just so many different people to draw from in the network. And I think the importance, we were talking to Mike Hall earlier, and we were doing the new agent training, and basically what he was saying is, hey, I'm just here to network with people and get to know them, because he's looking for freight opportunities. Yeah. So he wants you to keep him in mind if something comes for Dallas, and just like you would want him to keep you in mind if something comes up for Houston.
No, Evans, the university hasn't even started, and Mike was already
networking and getting sales, and that's what it's all about. It's all about collaboration and working together and getting that energy flowing, and basically, the networking aspect of our network is just, we need to tap into that more and more, and just keep on after it, because and that's what we're here for.
There's people that have way more experience than all of us, and if you put all those in one room together, you're gonna get something good.
Absolutely. And what also I like about it is sometimes somebody might have a background of, they might have been an owner operator, but before that they might have been in customer service. Yeah. So even that customer service, I mean, I was in insurance before I got into trucking, but I was an 88 Mike before that, so, but before that I did some customer service work, and draw from those experiences too. So there's a lot of different experiences that people have.
No, I agree. That, like I said, I worked at a grocery store, so I use how we stock things as a spacing thing. So in the warehouse, I look at it as space. Yeah. How do I do this? How do I do that?
Absolutely.
So no, I agree.
And even time management stuff, right. Like time management and different things that are, across the gamut that are good for trucking and something else.
No, I agree. All right. Now, speaking of where you started in trucking, you said you were an 88 Mike in the military.
I was.
How did you start in the military being?
So when I was a teenager, I wanted to go to college, and I came from a very middle-class family that was, lower to middle class, and actually my mom worked in this building. She sewed shoes for the shoe company, And none of the people in my family had ever gone to college. And I had a dream, I wanted to go to college. And for me, I felt like for me to achieve that, I had to do something. For me, I had to do it, because my parents couldn't afford to. You know, my parents are great, they always had food on the table, roof over the head, and were awesome at the basic stuff and loved us, but they just didn't have the money to put us into college. So my way of doing that was to go into the military, and so I had my mom sign over the papers before I graduated high school. I graduated at 17 and went off to basic training in Fort Dix, New Jersey. And that was my way of, and I did a split op, so I went a year at Penn State, and what ended up happening from there was I ended up coming back late from my 88 mic training, ended up working full time, but then going to school part time on top of that. So it took me a few years to get that degree and work through that, but I ended up getting money from that source too, from an employer that paid 80%. So I was only paying 20% and had the military paying back as well. So that's how I got my college degree.
That's cool. That's cool.
I actually ended up with a Bachelor of Science in entrepreneurship at Penn State. So business and entrepreneurs, and that's what I work with.
Correct.
Love it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So now you know exactly what we go.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because the business planning and the accounting aspect of it, and Penn State gave a really good curriculum of the different things that entrepreneurs need and the knowledge, and I just love working with entrepreneurs.
Did you think you were going to be in trucking as long as you are now?
No, I did not. And it's kind of ironic that I ended up in trucking, because I thought I'd end up back in insurance, because I went to insurance, and I thought the 88 mic thing was going to be my only trucking thing. But what happened was, when I was graduating from college, I had a professor. His name is David Norris, and he was really good friends with Bert Evans. And he basically said to me, "There's somebody I want you to meet. He's a fantastic person, and I think that I just want you to get to know him as a person in the community." And it wasn't even a job available at the time at Evans, and it was back in 1992. And so I met Bert Evans, and Bert is my mentor. I mean, Bert is an awesome mentor. He's just a great human being. He's been a phenomenal person for the community. I mean, this art center is here because of him.
I saw.
And just a tremendous, Bert Evans.
One other thing, I'll say this building is awesome. Probably one of the coolest work buildings that I've ever seen. They provide for the people around the community. They provide for the people that are here. There's so many things in this building. Personally, yeah, it's a great building to work for. This room that we're in, I'll post videos and pictures. It's amazing, to say the least. It's an old room we're in. They refurbished this. They redid it for the people here. They use it for plenty of things. I went off this one, but this room's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually the Walk-In Art Center where we're sitting right now. We're in the main gallery, and Martin will do a show of it later, but it's gorgeous. And they rent this out, but this space is all here because Bert bought this and gave it back to the community, and he is the backbone behind the Walk-In Art Center. And he wanted to bring art to Schuylkill County because there were no art. There was no art, and there were no art centers. And so he wanted to do that, and in doing that, you look at the character of this building. You have the brick is like, the soul of the building. There's like places on the floor that you can see where sewing machines, I mentioned my mom sewed here for many years, and you could just tell the character of the whole building comes out, and how much love and care has gone into this building. And we have artists. We have about a dozen artists that are over on the other side. Their studios. It's like an incubator for art. Just a really cool place to be.
Awesome. No, I agree. I love this building. It's the first time I've been here, by the way, and I don't want to leave. We gotta get back to Houston. Okay, now I'm gonna try to keep it shorter.
Okay.
So, as far as an agent, I just want to talk about this one. What is it that Evans Delivery does better than? Trust me, the university thing, in my opinion, is probably one of the best things that they do because they help people, and it legitimately does help people. But that's what I see. What is something you see that we don't that helps people?
So I would say the level of support that we provide. We have a sales team where we have 6 different salespeople that go out and do sales calls with agents, without agents, and what we've done really good job of doing is advocating, as I stated earlier, but also what do you guys need from us? So we take away a lot of that back office stuff that gets people hung up when they are in business for themselves. You don't have to worry about an insurance renewal with us because we're going to renew the insurance for you. You don't have to worry about a DOT audit with us because you know what we're going to do? We're going to handle that DOT audit for you. You don't have to worry about the receivables because guess what? We have collectors that's going to collect it for you. You don't even have to worry about giving a settlement check to your contractors because guess what? We do that for you every week too, and we front you your money. So cash flow is like tremendous. You talk about insurance earlier when you were talking with Bo, and Bo said, you had mentioned insurance is major. Well, just think about how time-consuming it is for you to go through a DOT audit. Think about how time-consuming it is for you to collect from a customer who's being a stickler because they didn't like the signature on a POD.
Correct.
So all of those things that weighed you down as a business owner who had their own insurance and who was doing their own thing in their own authority, you don't have any of those things to worry about.
Just grow your
So
business.
it's just a win-win. It's a win-win for all of us. I mean, we're doing the things that like held you back, and you're able to do the things that will
You need
grow
to
you.
do it.
So you're concentrating on the things you need to concentrate on. Growing your business, your customers, your independent contractors, who are your customers too.
No, I agree.
And that's your total focus. You're focused on these things rather than focusing on 10 different things. You're focused more on 3 or 4 different things.
No, I agree. I mean, that we see it all the time. We don't have to worry about that because it's been taken care of on
Yeah.
the other.
I mean, even the per diem stuff, keeping track of that, and we have a department that does that for you.
Correct.
So there's just so many different facets of what we do to take away the timing that would be you would have. You only have so many hours a day. What do you want to dedicate it to? What's your focus?
Growing the business.
Exactly.
I agree. No, I agree. And honestly, that's something that I really do love about Evans because we were previously with other companies and it wasn't anywhere near what it is here. So for us to go from that to this, we could definitely testify to that. By far the best, and I'm being 100% honest on this one.
Yeah,
My wife's behind the camera; she can tell.
Yeah, Mr. Evans always makes this speech when he says, "When you fly our flag," and we have a flag out there. And I have to say, he means it when he says, "When you fly our flag, we're behind you 100%," and we are. That's what we are. We're here to help you succeed because, like I said, it's win-win. You succeed, we succeed, and that's what we want all of us to grow as a family.
Yes, ma'am.
We're
Okay.
a family.
All right, let's start the quick question.
Okay,
All right.
let's go. Quick.
All right. Do you think drivers and agents together in the future can do business more in a more friendly fashion? Well, okay, let me rephrase that. There's a lot of drivers that think that either the business owner or the agent isn't being fair to them. Do you think in the future of trucking it's going to be more like one? You know what I mean? Like, okay, a lot of times in trucking, we don't explain ourselves correctly to the drivers, and the drivers don't explain themselves correctly to the agents. What do you see in the future of trucking as far as the agents and the drivers changing? Do you see it changing? Do you not see it changing? Is it staying the same?
It's hard to tell. I think that's such an individual thing, and I think it's us putting ourselves. A lot of times, I try to put myself into the agent's position as what are they thinking? Because I think that there's certain if we were able to put ourselves in that person's place or question enough to say, why are you thinking this? This is the way I'm thinking it, and kind of get a mutual understanding. I think it can change, but I think that has to be nurtured and basically nurtured and done at that individual level. It's like a one-on-one kind of thing because every single one of your drivers is different. Just like every one of my agents is different. I have some agents that they never call me, and I have agents that call me on everything, and then I have agents that just want to talk to me. How you doing? What's going on? And they might ask me about this or that, but they just like to converse, and then other agents don't ever want to talk. You have to drag stuff out of them. So, it's like that, just the same way as any relationship is. I think that it can get better, but I think it's a mutual respect thing, and it's also you actually taking yourself out of your role and being open-minded enough to say, okay, well, what are you thinking? And saying to the contractor, hey, what am I missing here? We're doing this, or what do you see that you're not saying to me? And kind of pulling that out of them and discussing it. It's all about communication.
No, I agree. That's something I think we need to learn.
Always.
Communicate.
Absolutely.
All Next one, two more.
Two more.
The next 10 years of trucking, how do you see it?
I look back 10 years and at the company itself and how much we've grown and evolved over 10 years, and I see it the same way. But the industry it is gotten regulated, and I don't think that's going to stop. I think that's going to continue. I hope that it's the growth and the amount of regulations isn't as much as it's been. But I don't see the automation happening as fast as people think. I mean, just because of some of the backstops that we've had and some of the, there's been some stopping of the testing and such just because of some of the issues. So I don't foresee an operator-less vehicle in the next 10 years for sure. So I think things are going to change, of course, like they have, but my crystal ball's a little cloudy, so I'm not exactly sure how.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, trust me. I want to know how it looks so I can get ahead of it.
Me too. I want to know those lottery numbers for next week's lottery. If my crystal ball cleans up, guess what I'm getting?
All right, last question.
Last question. We get a good one.
All right. Out of all the terminals in the U.S. that Evans has, right? Not the terminals, but of all the cities.
Yeah.
Which one is the most promising city?
Well, I'd rather talk about them in terms of the ones I like to visit. No, there's so many promising things. I'm a very optimistic person, and I see a lot of growth opportunities in rail. I see a lot of growth opportunities in the port cities. I mean, there's just a lot of opportunities. There really is. I mean, the ships are getting bigger, the ports are getting bigger. They're finding ways to divert and be more efficient, and I just see promise everywhere. I really do, and I don't mean to sound like I have rose glasses on. I just think that things are the future's so bright. You got to wear shades. I see promise everywhere.
Awesome.
So I don't want to commit to.
No, I got you. You gotta get all these agents mad.
Non-committal.
All right. No. Well, thank you very much for the time. Like I said, I know you're a busy person.
Thank you. No,
I was trying not to keep it.
I love having you guys here, and I am so honored to be here and to sit with you today. And I enjoy your videos.
We're starting something new. So
I think it's awesome, and I look forward to seeing the future ones that you have. And you're always welcome here if you want to come back and talk to more people and do more interviews and do more video footage and soak up the lovely Schuylkill County outdoors and.
And by the way, feel free to check out the Walk-In Art Center. It's awesome. There's some people. We're gonna be here tomorrow. They'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get a glimpse of that.
Yeah.
And show some videos and some footage of that. I mean, personally, I love art, so.
Maybe you can interview the executive director, Jackie, if she's here. I'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Or you can come back for that.
Yeah.
No, and our website is the ENOC. That's a new website for us. We developed a new website for all of the companies together. We still have Evans Delivery, but the ENOC is kind of getting all of, we have about 40 names now that are the different companies that we've bought over the years or branded, and the ENOC is our website that kind of categorizes everything into modes of travel. So you got your intermodal, you have your flatbed, you got your drive-in, you got your brokerage, your LTL, so a little bit of everything now.
I'm gonna sneak in a last question.
Bonus question.
No. The Evans pit stop.
Yes.
That's an awesome resource for drivers.
Yes, it is.
How did that come about?
So the pit stop is an interesting story. That actually came about, we formulated an iPhone team, and we talked about how the iPhone was cutting edge technology back then, and it was a resource for the drivers. How can the drivers, rather than calling us or calling you, get the information like their settlements? How do we share information like the scholarships? How do we share, things that are going on for regulations and safety stuff? My first time here, I came in as a director of safety, became vice president of safety before I went over to training and development. So that kind of happened while I was in safety, and we decided the technology was, hey, we got this, let's get this website where we can actually provide resources to our drivers. And that's something that I would tell you that for 2021, I definitely want us to get more into the independent contractor. I've heard you talk about it, and I think that's going to be a focus for us next year, is that we definitely want to start to get out shorter clips and communications to the independent contractor, because we really have focused a lot on agents and agent growth, and I think we've done a good job of that with Evans University, but I'd love to take that and and pour it over and kind of work with agents to come up with a program and different modules that deal with profitability and picking a truck and your maintenance funds and different things like the resources. I think it's a really neat thing, and I think it's needed with our guys. I think we could educate them. I'm all about mentoring and developing and teaching and all those things. That's what Evans University is all about. So 2021, definitely want to get more into independent contractors because we talked that we're going to do more. We just haven't gotten to it yet. So we just have to start to devote more time. One thing we're going to do is start to do more e-learning modules too, so that we can take some stuff. I mean, this COVID thing, what it taught us was, hey, we needed to start to do things remotely. I mean, to me, there's nothing like face-to-face. This is fantastic. This is the best this can be. But there's times when you can't do face-to-face, like what happened in March. So we're going to come up with more e-learning modules, more videos, and do more things like that for 2021. And hopefully we're going to bridge that gap and get more training out for the independent contractors. So look forward to any feedback from the agents on that, and would love to hear it.
Awesome. No, that's
No more
great.
questions.
No more questions. That's the last one. But no, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry to take up too much.
Oh,
of your
no,
time.
you're good.
And
We're all good.
We'll hear tomorrow.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Interview 2.
Interview 2. No. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. This is Martin, Miss Kim. I appreciate the time, and we'll do some more of these. If you like this video, if you did, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. We're in the trucking industry. We're here to help. Miss Kim Lorimer is a great person, and looking forward to bringing you more content like this.